aberrating from the well laid down foundations of this house. When submission after submission is in breach of Rule 80, 1, 2, and 3 of our rules of procedure, we are proceeding in a manner that is so strange that I've never met and witnessed in this house. We are borrowing with open ends. We are legislating and determining in anticipation. Right Honorable Speaker, for this entire house to deliberate in anticipation of what will be and what will not be, and we are committing the millions of Ugandans who sent us here, Right Honorable Speaker. I had other issues to raise then, like particularly where the Attorney General waived the tax obligations out of this 190 when the taxpayers down there.
You will have to answer that.
But for this particular one, Right Honorable Speaker, to proceed by way of anticipation and to commit Ugandans and to say in future when this is realized then we shall pay this, I find it extremely floppy. I'll take it, Honorable Ssemujju.
So the information I want to give you, Honorable Ssekikubo, we're here, the same government convinced us, some of us refused, when they came here waiving the same deadlines for Magola's factory. We said, do not pay any money until you have acquired shares in that factory. And that was the condition that was given by this parliament. Immediately the parliament passed, they went ahead and paid. Let him bring here, he committed, let him bring here a share certificate from that factory.
Right Honorable Speaker, I commit to bring here the documents showing that government has an interest in that factory.
Thank you.
Yes, I commit to bring documents.
I am talking about the day you paid.
Honorable Ssekikubo, you
The matter has been raised to me, and I am here. And Right Honorable Speaker, I am committing to bring documents here that to prove that government has shares in that factory, in that company.
You start with the day of payment, that I paid this day and the certificate we acquired on this day. That is the contention.
Right
you first paid and then started negotiating,
right,
because
Honorable.
you did not even know the value of the company.
Honorable.
So which part should I answer, Right Honorable Speaker?
No, it's just quarreling there. Sechi.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, can we have some order? Can we have some order?
Right Honorable Speaker. The discrepancy between 120 to 190 million US dollars is too huge for us to handle in a floppy way. Can we respect our rules and then they will guide us at the exact amount when it is due, well audited, then we'll proceed. Right Honorable Speaker, I'll rise to support, but let us really be fair to ourselves and the country.
Thank you. Honorable LOP.
Honorable Speaker, two things. One, we pressed and said government slept on the job. This was seen coming. The Attorney General stood up and said that government could not have come earlier. I disagree with that, because today is 20th. Why are you coming on the 20th? Why are you not coming on 30th? Which rule, which law says you could not have come several months earlier? Because we knew that 31st March was coming. You didn't get to know about it last week. So it is wrong, Attorney General, for you to say government could not have come earlier. No, we should have begun to process all of these matters, especially because there are critical components. For example, the Auditor General, on behalf of government and on our behalf, because the Auditor General is part of Parliament, was meant to do a thorough audit, so that informs us to know what is due to UMEME in exactness. But that has not happened. That's why we're saying we should have begun this whole process a lot earlier. Just hold on. You see, when you read the law, and Attorney General, I would like that we excogitate the law a little bit here. Section 36, subsection 5 of the Public Finance Management Act provides for how loans get to be processed by Parliament. The only exceptions are two, among others actually. One, government securities. The other is where government is managing a monetary policy question. The Minister of Finance deals with that without having to come here. But for such a loan, Parliament has got to approve in exactness. I want to be helped to understand. I have seen that commitment letter, which has been tabled here. Minister of Finance is saying that let's pass 190.9 million US dollars, assuming it is discovered that what is due to UMEME is 150 million US dollars. As an example, you'll only give them 150. I don't know what you'll do with the other. Does that then not mean that the Minister of Finance has taken over our responsibility as Parliament to approve? Because we are meant to approve loans in exact terms. What happens if it is more than 190? So you cannot say that Parliament passed 190, then I will discover if it is less, I'll give them the less. Then you will be the one appropriating and not Parliament. And that's why we should have begun these processes earlier, so that we know in exact terms which is which. Finally, Right Honourable Speaker, I honestly, I'm hard pressed to believe the Minister of Finance here when he commits to us that you give me the 190. If I discover I'm meant to give them less, I'll only give them that part. Because, and examples have been given, this minister has promised us here and not fulfilled. I went today Biopharma with colleagues. Which government promised us here? You pass the money. We are going to make sure the MOU is in place, the share certificate is in place, and so on. You went and you gave them money before availing the MOU and the share certificate. When we went there, after they had already received the money, they said we are still working on the MOU. So you told us a lie here. You did not fulfill your commitment when you said, give me the money, I'll hold on to it until we make sure the MOU is in place. They received the money before the MOU is in place. Why should you believe you now when you say, give me the entire 190? If I discover what is due to UMEME is less, I'll only give them that bit. We don't trust you anymore.
No, but we need to learn to trust ourselves. Okay, Rod?
Madam Speaker, I need to finish. Because I was being interrupted and I hadn't finished. So having established that the committee has not done a cost-benefit analysis, because everything been talked about penalties, what is just speculation. Why? They have not told us the other side of the story.
If not speculation, because it is in the agreement.
Okay, let's say it's in the agreement. When they do cost-benefit analysis, they are supposed to give us the opportunity cost. If we don't pursue that line, what will be the cost to Uganda? If we ask the Attorney General to go and talk to UMEME, you give us maybe a month or two within which we will resolve, because amendment is provided for. And those are all issues I'd invited the Attorney General to respond to, including exploring why we cannot pursue the liquidity facility. Lastly, Madam Speaker, I want to move this House. I want to move a motion without notice that you reject this request until these matters are reconciled. And then the minister comes with something which is well packaged, so that we do not look ugly as a house. I beg to, okay, you can amend, because I'm moving that we reject the request. If you want to amend it, so let this be disposed of so that we can move.
Honorable Kiryowa, that's not how they do with the reports. Reports are informative. Yes.
Right, Honourable Speaker, I want to put it on record that I'm not standing up to second the motion of my colleague Oguzuli. Right, Honourable Speaker, the issue at hand, which all of us agree that as of necessity, there's need for UMEME buyout. As of necessity. I've been fortunate enough to listen that this has been a journey. We cannot castigate blame. It has now come to us as the members of parliament sitting in the 11th parliament today. Right Honorable Speaker, a communication was made through the Minister of Finance. And the communication is through a letter that was written to the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament. There's work which is supposed to be done by the Auditor General, who can give, but there's a commitment that the sums to be paid out cannot be beyond what has been presented by the Auditor General. Honorable colleagues, I want to appeal to all of you. Sometimes it gets a bit so sticky. As a nation, if we moved beyond 30th, do we think that we can commit our citizens to beyond what we think is more than little compared to beyond the 30th? We have a duty. This parliament carries out checks and balances. The same Minister of Finance will get back to this house, and we are duty bound to watch over it. I want to appeal to all of us that if we can agree to pass this amount so that we are not caught off guard in the buyout, because these are contractual. As we talk, UMEME could be having a demobilization. So we're going to plunge the country into a crisis beyond the 30th. I want to appeal to all of us that we should be able to pass this, and whatever money submitted is beyond what is supposed to be, is something part of the loan which can be cancelled. I beg to submit that, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable. Okay, Faith.